Welcome back to another episode of Jacksonville Buzz's Buzz on Veterans. I'm Steve Strum with the fabulous Colonel Chris Budihas, as always. We're sitting here today with Audrey Green from Rounded Gear. We have an entire episode that we can probably show for the audience of the B-reel of trying to prepare for this segment. Chris, where do we go from here?
I don't know.
All right,
It's going to be on the outtakes.
Let's start at East LA.
East
and
LA.
kind of move to the west, to the east from there.
From East LA to the further east, and
Yes.
your story of humble beginnings to accounting and finance lieutenant of a very large holster manufacturer. I think that's a really good story.
Yes. So I was actually born in East LA, Los Angeles.
That's it. Make sure it's Los Angeles.
It is Los Angeles.
Not
Actually,
Lower Alabama.
particularly, it's La Puente.
La Puente.
La Puente, California.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
I was raised by a single mother. I went to high school. I graduated and went straight into CNA school.
For the folks that hear reading along at home, that's certified nurse anesthetist, correct?
Assistant. Certified nursing assistant, yes.
Got it. Okay.
So
medical.
Yes, medical. I always knew that I wanted to do something that helped people, so I was, like, okay, I'm going to go into medical, and plus,
great.
be a great experience. So I was doing my CNA job and then trying to go to school to get my LVN, which is basically the next step in nursing.
Right.
But I was like, oh, I'm working a full-time job. I'm trying to go to school. It's very exhausting. I can't afford my bills. And then I remember going to this fair and they were like, join the military. You can get, you can get your education paid for
free.
For free.
Yeah.
So that's all they had to say. And I was like, okay, so I joined the military and everything just went so quick. And next thing you know I'm being flown out to Florida for my special ops training in Pensacola. Then from there, I went to Mississippi for my yeoman school. And then from there, I went straight to the DDG 80,
Okay.
the USS Roosevelt.
Oh, okay.
And we went on a tour across the Suez Canal between Israel and Egypt, and then we did some special ops right off the coast of Somalia.
The Somali pirate time frame.
Yeah,
Right.
I always tell people, I'm like, I was out to sea for 117 days.
Back when the Navy was
no
hard.
ports.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
It's a long time to be on a float.
yes, a long time. I still haven't recovered from eating too much tilapia.
Okay.
Just saying.
So sushi's not on the menu today.
Not with tilapia.
Fair
It's
enough.
not.
Well, so you had a career in the military. So you went humble beginnings in LA, into the medical world. You joined the military, Navy, traveled the world, run around the world twice, and fought pirates.
Yep.
Sounds like fun. And then you exited the military. And then what are you doing today?
So I decided I was going to continue my medical career. It was actually in UNCW. That's the university
Of
in
North Carolina,
North
Wilmington.
Carolina.
Somebody's alma mater here.
Go see
Oh,
Seahawks.
really?
Yes.
Okay, that's where I started.
You don't get that one very often.
No.
They don't have a
Yes.
football team. It's
Yeah.
great. And they barely had a basketball team.
They had a great medical program, though.
They did, and a business school. I went to
So,
UNCW.
That's the funny thing is that I got recruited to go to LSU Medical School.
Oh.
And at the time, though, I had 2 children, so I didn't know the geography of New Orleans and Baton Rouge.
Yeah, two separate places. For
Yes,
Sure. Yeah.
they said it was very close and that my schedule would work around my children and everything. Didn't happen. So I had to choose something else. I met this wonderful statistics teacher who worked at the School of Business.
Okay.
And I was hooked.
Oh, wow.
I was hooked.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm going to change my major. I changed it to accounting.
Oh, wow.
Got a minor in analytics.
Yeah.
I had an amazing professor. He still teaches there. He's brilliant. And then after that, I got a job with a Medisys.
Okay.
It's a company that provides medical services.
Okay.
And which is funny because I stayed in the medical field.
Like wound recovery type stuff? Or,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. They're very large, and so after that, I decided to come back to Florida, and that's when Rounded Gear gave me an opportunity to, develop their analytics and developed their operations and their accounting, and I love it.
And so Rounded Gear, for those that may not know what that company is. So
Yes.
it's a company in Jacksonville.
Yes.
And their main product is a special kind of holster for a gun.
Yes.
And what is special about that holster and that gun?
So the holsters are made out of a material called Kydex. It's a poly material that's supposed to be really resilient. We also do sell everyday use accessories for weapons carrying.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So
you don't sell the weapon itself. You
No,
sell all the
sir.
accessories to keep it safe, to
yes,
make it work
we're
better.
all about safety.
I understand. So, and then but you are in accounting and finance side. So you're
Yes.
not necessarily in the manufacturing side of it. You are in the
No.
accounting finance. It's a very interesting story of kind of like you hear of somebody's like their story, right? And it's like, oh, well, I did this, that led me to this, that led me to this, that led me to this. Yours was like here to go over through this way, and then you went over here, and then come over this way, but then you went that way, and then somehow UNCW's in the conversation, which
Yes.
is, I haven't heard somebody say that on an interview, I think, ever. And now you're here as the accounting and finance executive for a major manufacturing company in Jacksonville. That's fabulous. So for the folks that are watching that are kind of identifying with that thing, whether it was I was raised by the single mom, I had the 2 kids trying to go to college, I'm trying to figure out which way's up, what would you say is what has been your key takeaway of what your life experience has been for somebody who might be seeing this going, you know what, I identify with that young lady, and that's something that I'm trying to figure out myself?
That if your goal is to change your directory, it's never too late.
Yeah.
Good to know, huh?
Yeah, that was
35 years in the military.
Well, no,
Chris, by the way, it's never too late.
No, I like it because one, it's funny. So the military, through my 35 years, I rarely have the same job over and over. So you're changing jobs. There's some goodness and badness to it, but you grow and change with those positions. Sometimes it's a change in rank, sometimes it's a change in location, change in command, and I think it makes you very well rounded. Also gives you a large spectrum of opportunities and understanding if you have that mental flexibility. But I think the biggest thing that you're demonstrating, Audrey, is it takes a lot of, especially when you're out, the military, you're gonna get paid every 2 weeks regardless of what you do. On the outside, I mean, it takes some courage to make those decisions because you're gonna put action behind, what you say you're gonna do, and you need some huge career pivot points, because they're not, I went from nursing to getting more nursing to getting more nursing. You went from something that was totally outside medical into, now you're in the data analytics side of a business and helping with, operations and
we should do a segment just on the personal brand of Audrey.
I agree.
I mean, there's like this entirely different segue because I know, and we may not have time to cover it in this segment. We have another one that you're also very much philanthropically inclined to help somebody else.
Absolutely.
So, gosh, I guess as we take this segment away, is there anything, like you said, so it's never too late to change?
Never too
right?
late to change.
You're definitely going to improve yourself always. I guess iron sharpens iron, probably something to put out there. And
I think the third thing is, like Audrey's demonstrating through her testimony, is that you got to be willing to put the calories in. I mean, you didn't do this. Wasn't easy for you, obviously.
No.
So you got to be willing to put the work in.
Yes.
You got to do the work.
I never lost sight of the fact that it was. I knew what the end game was.
Yeah.
And the fact that, yes, a lot of people hesitate about going into the military because of their own safety.
Yeah.
People concerned about that. But you know what? The Navy shaped me to be more resilient and more in control of my own life.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic.
So Steve, where are we going to hang this at?
You know what? I'm thinking right back there on the wall.
No, the video.
So what we'll do, there's so much more we can talk about, but I think that what we will do is we're going to take and put all of this wonderful content, all about your company, all about you, on thedailynewsnetwork.com, which is our website for all the links, and we'd love to have you back on another segment to talk about who Audrey is as a human and her personal brand story.
Absolutely.
Fabulous. So, both of you guys, thank you for your service to our great country. As always,
Thanks,
without
Steve.
doing that, we can't do this. Everybody here watching, a couple big takeaways. Number one, it's never too late. Do the work. And if you like us, share us. And remember, live with gratitude.